All right, so of course, with Rush appearing with Annika Nils for the first time at the Juno Awards, being the big Rush fan that I am, I had to say something about it. I had to talk about it. So I figured I'd take a little time. Let's break it down a little bit. I got some thoughts. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, James. Hello. Yeah. Huh? Well, dude, I'm in the middle of recording right now. No, huh? No, I'm working on something else, but I don't want to work on that. Everybody's been working. Everybody has been talking about it. Yes, I know. Well, I don't want to be on the Angine de Poitrine's bandwagon, if that's cool with you. Huh? What are you talking about? How would that even be possible? The contract was signed like years ago. But I get creative decision making. No. But how can this be possible? How can it possibly include them in this and I have to talk about it? Okay, you know what? Let's look at the contract together. Let me go get it. All right. Which page? Where? No, wait. Son of a bitch. Hey there, my fellow prognoggins. Dave here. This is Bleeding Edge, no BS reactions, as I like to call them. And yes, I have finally given in. I have finally gotten around to it. I am jumping into the big polka dot pool that is Angine de Poitrine and giving it a look-see, which actually it's an official look-see. I've actually watched one of their videos before because actually curiosity finally got to me and I had to see what was going on. But I've only done it once, and this is going to be doing it a second time. So I want to check it out a little more closely, a little more attention to detail. I think it could be a different song. Don't hold me 100% to that because I'll be damned, I don't remember what the title of the first song was that I saw. But I don't think this is it. I'm pretty sure it's the one that's got fewer views, but who knows? We'll see how it goes. I want to check out what's going on here. We're going to talk about this a little bit, and I'll throw in my 2 cents to the ring because why not? Everybody else is doing it, and I'm contractually obligated, of course. So let's check these guys out, or girls, or whoever, or let's check these days out once again here and see what they've got going on. Put on ye old headphones, of course. Alrighty, let's see. Angine de Poitrine, Sagnès, live on KEXP, whatever that is. It's going to probably introduce them in French. Interestingly enough, I think this is the same song. No worries. It is what it is. Let's move on with this. The polka dots are going to give me spots, but all right. Well, initial thoughts so far. I dig the groove here. I will say that. Focusing on the music for a moment, I dig the groove. I enjoy the looping that they've got going on there, the guitar player slash bassist slash whatever. And I've seen that kind of stuff done before by another artist, another musician whose name absolutely escapes me right now because I didn't plan ahead to think to talk about him. But actually, a friend of my buddy Paul Zotter from the Progressive Palaver, who has performed at Paul's house a number of times and really does some impressive stuff with both original and covers, with the looping and everything. He's totally a solo act. Great stuff. This is very cool and impressive kind of stuff here too. Very original. It's got its own kind of sound and its own kind of groove to it. So I dig that part. I like it. Um, I, I'm going to go on the record. I could give a rat's ass about anybody's costumes anywhere out there. I kind of roll my eyes at the whole thing. Some of it I know is pageantry and theater and all that. You've got Ghost and you got their little satanic shit going on. I meant to say shtick. Freudian slip. Don't take that to mean I'm dissing Ghost. I do enjoy a lot of Ghost stuff, and I also kind of don't enjoy some of their stuff. Back from my tangent. And you got Sleep Token and all that, and the whole anonymity, which, that's eventually going to come to an end. It always does. Kiss eventually took the makeup off. Ghost eventually revealed it was oh yeah, another name I'm going to forget and I'll remember later, but it will come back to me. I do know his name. And the bunch of nameless ghouls who got kind of PO'd about being nameless and apparently paidless. Again, tangents. This here, I'm not sure the exact point, other than maybe attention getting. Maybe part of the phenomenon right here that is Angine de Poitrine is the fact that there is the polka dot look in the costumes and all this. I don't know who's in there. I will say I appreciate the level of commitment that they are barefoot, at least the guitar player is, and painted the feet. Cool. Painted the hands. Everything's painted. Everything's polka dot. That takes commitment. I can appreciate that. And the drummer, I'll be damned. I don't know how he or she can see what the hell they're doing. Maybe that's one reason the drum kit is kind of limited so that they can maybe do it by feel. They maybe make fewer mistakes, because I don't give a crap how big that mouth is. I'm not quite sure how the hell anybody sees out of it. Just some thoughts, top of my head. Let's get back to the music. I give them this. That little section there shows they are indeed tight. They are indeed very much in sync. They're right on top of things. Now, and that may be where the mouth comes in a little bit more helpful, because they can see each other and react, and that can help with the timing on those little stops and starts and stops and starts. Pretty cool. If you want a really, really impressive one, go see King's X live, because they always do this part in the concert where the three of them aren't even looking at each other, and they are that ridiculously in sync. And I can only say it's truly an impressive thing, and must take either an amazing amount of synchronicity, an amazing amount of practice, or maybe a good bit of telepathy. I don't know. It's pretty darn impressive though. But this is impressive too. I'm liking what they're doing. Like little stop start, the atonal way of playing the guitar, those off kilter notes, little strange, a little bit of bend, a little bit of Primus in there, Les Claypool, in a guitar version, with the weird bends and tweaks and whatever that's going on that makes the guitar make those noises. fun stuff, and that definitely keeps it interesting, keeps it unique. And I do like a band that has a unique sound. And these guys definitely, these guys, these girls, these people, these dots, I'm going to call them dots from now on. These dots definitely have that. So let's continue with the dots playing their instruments. Somewhere out there, I'm fairly certain there's going to be like a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old that sees this video and has nightmares about these two forever because as amusing as they are to look at as an adult, there is a certain creep factor that's going on here that just makes them very weird and probably a little bit scary for a lot of kids. And or, I don't know, maybe we can get a guest vocal from Art the Clown in here somewhere as well. He would match them pretty nicely. The arms coming out of the drummer look ridiculously small with that getup on there. It looks very odd, like he's T-Rexing it. It's kind of the arms I feel like I've got when I'm eating on the airplane and I can only do this because the tray's too close and I'm like, Yes, I'm going on tangents. The music is cool. At a certain point, I'm like, it stops introducing a lot new and my brain goes a little bored. So this is what's happening. My brain is wandering off, doing its own thing. The music's fun though. It's got a nice little groove to it. I don't know that I see myself riding down the road blasting it out of the car stereo or something like that, but it's got a cool little groove. I bet they're fun to watch live. And again, the commitment. The drums are also polka dot too. I'm just picking up on that. I just can't with that dangling nose. I just can't. Every time it cuts to the drummer and I'm watching that nose bouncing around, all I can do is feel inadequate. So definitely some cool stuff there. Definitely some interesting things going on. They are a band that has forged their very much their own identity, truly a unique look, and at this point a unique sound. I'm actually a little disappointed that the video I just pulled out there was not actually a different one than what I had seen before, but it is what it is. This is what I've recorded, and this is what I'm going to have time for tonight. So I'm going to have to live with it, despite the fact that it's not exactly what I wanted. Everybody's been talking about these guys, so I'm very curious. I really want to hear in the comments section from those seeing this, What do the rest of the world really think of this? Are people actually enjoying this? Is it a novelty thing at this particular moment? Is it something that we think is going to go further? Because there's some really cool stuff happening there. I am not astute enough in terms of guitar playing to be able to comment exactly on all of the techniques, maybe on display. Again, they definitely make a cool bit of sound and all that. It's the looping, I think, that really is more the key than anything else. The drummer is certainly perfectly competent and probably doing some really good stuff considering that ridiculous costume is, I think, almost certainly limiting their range of motion, which means they have to make the most they can with the few drums they can reach effectively without basically knocking their own head off or their shoulders off or whatever. I got to think there's a bit of restriction there. Maybe I'll see another video somewhere along the line that tells me that's not the case, but they're not. I struggle to think that person would even be able to reach anything that looked even halfway like a Neil Peart drum set or a smaller one. The few drums, and then, so that ends up limiting the sound a little bit, and does put a lot of onus on the guitar player to drive everything with layers and layers and layers of looped guitar. That's, in and of itself a pretty impressive feat. So I don't want to diss these folks at all. I don't get the point of the costumes other than the fact that, I guess you're making kind of kooky sounding music. You might as well have a kooky look as a band. And I don't know, is it going to be one of these things where we're going to all be speculating, are these actually well-known artists who are in disguise to do this project? That went on with Ghost for quite a while. It turned out, no, it wasn't any of those people. It wasn't any of the people they speculated as being. There's been speculation about Sleep Token, and who knows when we find out who that is. Who knows how much it'll matter. As long as you enjoy the music, that's all that matters. And so, yeah. So these guys are cool. They're kooky. They're fun. These dots are definitely a very of the moment thing. I'm curious to see whether we'll still be talking about that a year from now. My contract requires me to continue to talk about them. Sure, roll with that. And that's all I got to say. That's about all I got to say. What do the rest of you think? Are you digging this? Are you enjoying this? Those of you that are guitar players, talk a little bit about the technique. If you're people that do looping things, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Is there something going on in the looping that is beyond the understanding of myself as someone who neither plays guitar nor does looping, that might actually make it even more impressive than I realized? That's a possibility. So there you go. Angine de Poitrine. That's all I got to say about that. So next time, hang loose, keep it froggy. I don't even know my own saying. I'm all polka dotted out. I don't know what's going on. Hang loose, never fear to deviate from the norm. These folks certainly did, these dots. And as always, keep it froggy.